Thank you everyone for pushing that play button again today. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. I would love that you're part of the community, and please hit that bell button beside it so you get a notification anytime I release a video, because I would love to literally have each and every one of you that watch this video a part of the community. But I want to bring this photo to you. I got some new information about the C8 mid-engine Corvette. Well, technically, these new renderings that just released just yesterday, literally just yesterday. And I want to bring this out because I feel like as long as this car is getting closer and closer to production, there's going to be some new things that are going to be released. And I try my best to get this information to you as quick as I possibly can. And, I want to be that channel that actually at maybe some point be able to get one of these cars, depending on the price, obviously, and depending on what the car has to offer. But I want to take a look at what I currently have in front of you, which is right now the new rendering of the C8 mid-engine Corvette. Also, information about my website, the drawing that's going on, and the YouTube call out as well will be down in the description below. The drawing is, two Corvette shirts I want to give away to two of my good followers who've been a part of the channel. And all you have to do is subscribe, like, and comment, and that will hint you in the drawing to win this prizes. So without further ado, let's go ahead and pick apart some of the things that we see in this car that we possibly may have seen in a couple other renderings or possibly have seen on previous Corvettes. The one thing I want to talk about is that this rendering to me looks awesome. I'm not really a hard guy to please when it comes to cars. I'm really a car guy in general. I pretty much like everything, but there are some cars I honestly don't like. But the renderings I've seen so far, the mid-engine Corvette has been great. And taking a look at this one, as this car is getting close to production and people are able to see this car out in public more often than before, it gives us a really good indication of what this car can possibly look like based off how these people are drawing these renderings. One thing I want to talk about is the front splitter. I think this front splitter looks awesome. It is definitely something small for most cars, but it's definitely a big thing for most people that own sports cars. I mean, I have the front splitter on my C7 Corvette. It is the plastic one. It isn't carbon fiber, but I like it. It makes the car look a little bit different. Doesn't make it look plain. Another thing I would like to point out is the headlights. Now, I'm not against these headlights. I don't think they look bad at all, but I do think these headlights resembles the C7. I'm kind of hoping that it doesn't have the C7 headlights. I don't think they were bad. That's just my opinion about it. But at the end of the day, obviously, I'm not part of GM, so I can't tell them what to do and what not to do. But, as we all know, this car is already finished. I'm sure it's sitting in the showroom somewhere at GM, just sitting in the showroom, just like wrapped, covered, and it's ready to go. But obviously, they're going to just keep driving test mules around, just giving us a tease. This is a very intriguing and very attractive car to me. I mean, the angles definitely look great, but one thing I want to talk about is the front end and the vents in the front. Those look amazing. Hands down, right now, that is my favorite part about this car for sure. One thing that I definitely like that is intriguing to me is the hood fronts and how its downward inserts the side of the hood where it meets the front fascia. I think that's definitely something that's going to make this car stands out above other sports cars and definitely get this new Corvette, maybe the Zora, a good look on the highway. Based off this rendering and a couple of photos I've seen in the past, the front end of this car looks amazing. I will definitely give it a 9 out of 10. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. I would love to have you part of the community. I would love to have every viewer that watches this video a part of the community as well. Now, here's some more meat and potatoes I want to get into. I have talked about this a few times for sure in some previous videos. Pretty much the back end of this car, right? Nobody has yet seen an actual image of the back end of this car. And I'm kind of curious to see what it looks like, because right now we are all guessing what it may look like. And as of what we have seen so far based off the renderings at the Nürburgring, I'm not really that thrilled about the back end of the car per se. Definitely with the rear spoiler, I'm not really that ecstatic about it. I don't think the rear spoiler on the base model will have like the aero flow where it's going to be active at all. I think it's going to be just a basic rear spoiler, just going to just sit still. It's not going to have an active aero at all. But one thing I want to talk about that I have mentioned before in a previous video is the tail lights of this mid-engine Corvette. A lot of people is like, I hope they bring out the round tail lights. I hope they bring them back. They keep something from previous gen Corvettes. Like I said before, I definitely think they're going to bring back the round tail lights, just in a different way. You all know when the 2019 Camaro was released, a lot of people was up in arms about how bad this car looked. I mean, a lot of people hated it. A lot of people hated it. I had a lot of people actually leave me comments, emails like, how do you think, how do you actually feel about the 2019 Camaro? And I really didn't have an opinion about it because I never really saw it in person, only seen photos. But I mean, honestly, a lot of people did not like the new makeovers of what the 2019 Silverado has or the Camaro. So that's why I'm hoping that Chevrolet knocks this mid-engine out of the park. But if you haven't seen the 2019 Camaro, do me a favor, go take a look at it. Look at the front end, but do me a favor, look at the back end, and tell me if those tail lights are something you have interest in. This image was obviously leaked of the C8 mid-engine Corvette, but it kind of give you an idea what the back end will look like, but it doesn't give you the actual image of what it will look like. And to me, the back tail lights of the Camaro will probably be the same ones on this mid-engine Corvette. They will be round, but they will look modern at the same time. And so it may give, the people in the past that wanted round tail lights the thing that they love, or it may just be like, oh, they really just don't like them at all. But right now, I definitely think the mid-engine Corvette will have the same taillights as a 2019 Chevrolet Camaro. Now here's another photo. Now looking at this C8 mid-engine Corvette from the side, I'm in love with it. I think this side view looks freaking phenomenal to me. Looking at the front end of it looks good. Looking at the middle part of the car looks good. And looking at the rear end of this car looks amazing. As I stated before, this vent will definitely be in the car. If you take a look at one of the Haggerty's previous photos of the rendering of this car as well, this car actually looks the same as theirs. And I think this vent looks freaking amazing. I hope this vent is as big as it's supposed to look in this photo, because it looks to me like it's going to give this engine a lot of air that it needs. Now, from this angle, I want to point out something else that looks similar to the C7 Corvette, which is these rims. There's been about 3 or 4 photos I've seen now that have different sets of wheels on the C8 mid-engine Corvette. And I will say that, in my opinion, these are the wheels that come off the C701. And they aren't bad. I definitely like them, but I hope that Chevrolet will come out with some great ideas for the wheels for this car. There were another set of wheels I've seen another rendering that I wasn't too thrilled about, but I'm okay with these. I think they're figure this out sooner or later, if not already. And I just, I definitely think this is something that looks like the 2019 01 as far as the wheel goes. So one other thing I want to point out about this car, looking at it from a side view, I can actually see these doors going up as vertical doors or Lambo doors or whatever you want to call these doors. I would love to see some type of doors that are different from the normal Corvette doors on the Corvette, in my opinion. I think the mid-engine cars deserve to have doors that goes in the air because it makes it look more exotic. It gives you that wow factor that people look for in sports cars. Now here we are with our last photo of the day. And let's take a look at this rear end. I'm not too, like I said before, and I'm not too excited about it. That is definitely the rear spoiler that we have seen on the mid-engine Corvette at the Nürburgring. These tail lights is definitely the tail lights I have seen in the 2019 Camaro. Once again, I'm not that against those tail lights. I mean, they're round, which is what people want to talk about. They're not completely round, but you get what I mean. And they're definitely modern looking. And, I'm okay with that. I'm sure as time goes on, when this car is released in 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, they're going to probably do some redesigns of some fresh ups of the car in general. So I'm not too thrilled about the rear end before, but once again, I think it'll grow on me. And there's always something you can find about a car or anything in life that you don't like. But I'm sure there's a bunch of positive things you can find out that you may like about this car as well. But right now, like I said before, overall, I'm happy with these renderings. I'm super thrilled about this car coming out. My goal is to try to bring as much new information out to you as I can about the C8 mid-engine Corvette. Haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do, and please hit that bell notification right beside it. I'm going to also start doing reviews on other cars that is out there, other than the C8 mid-engine Corvette, other than the Corvette in general, other than a Chevrolet brand. Because I've reached out to a lot of followers, had a lot of followers reach out to me, and everybody has their car brand that they would like to drive and like to see reviews on, whether it's Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Mustangs, and things of that nature as well. And I kind of want to get a true overall feeling of the car world with giving different ideas and different views based on the cars that I see regularly and cars I don't see regularly. So hopefully bring some of that good content to the channel as well. But the C8 mid-engine Corvette is something that is around the corner and we're all super excited about. So anytime I get some new information to you, I'm super excited about it. And anytime I get any updates whatsoever about whatever part that's being plugged into the C8 mid-engine Corvette, I definitely want to bring it to you as well.